But many people haven't a clue as to what personal branding is or what to do to achieve a brand. Many think that personal branding is merely cosmetic. I'm sure you all heard of this saying, that you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig. You can put on a new suit. You can buy yourself a new Audi, but people will see through that makeover. If you're shallow and lacking in real proof, you're not going to be able to convince the world that with wearing a good suit and driving a good car, you're a brand. No, you are not. Then what is real personal branding and why is it important? Because globalization and social media have made the world smaller, more connected, and infinitely more competitive. You need to understand 3 fundamental realities that surround you to be able to communicate your real worth to the world. And that real worth to the world can be communicated only through personal branding. Let's see what those 3 threats are. Number 1, distraction. Distraction threatens your connection with others. Number 2, competition. Competition is seriously threatening your ability to stand out and win. And finally, commoditization. Commoditization is threatening your relationship and loyalty, be it at home, in the society, or in the office. What exactly is this distraction? Today, man has an attention span of just 9 seconds like a goldfish. Every time you introduce yourself, you have just about 9 seconds to engage your listener. This is your window of opportunity. If you can earn their interest using those 9 seconds, people will be more likely to engage further. Otherwise, they will simply move on. This is where branding comes in. Branding relaxes the mind of the people around you by signaling your true self and encouraging top of the mind recall. Now we come to competition. Competition is another way of saying run faster. You run and run faster. But have you noticed that in spite of running fast, you don't seem to be moving an inch forward? In an era when everything is changing at a phenomenal pace, trying to be better at something which could become outdated within days or minutes is a waste of time. Be different. Different is better than better. And the best part is you already are different. Every human being on this planet is different. As a marketplace becomes more crowded, difference are your strength. One company and one person that made a big name by thinking different. Remember? Apple, Steve Jobs, their logo think different. That brings us to commoditization. Commoditization is a silent assassin. Shaving off your points of difference, sapping your defining qualities, and eventually transforming you and your vibrant life into a boring, meaningless, generic replica. Just another human being. You become a commodity if you don't have something which the world wants badly. You are just a faceless person in this huge crowd. Is that what you want to be? Then what is the solution? Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't tell you. I forgot. I only exist to you when you need something. Branding is signaling your novelty and value to the world. If you are not going to signal your novelty, and if you are not going to signal your value to the world, you are just another faceless person, be it at home or outside. It doesn't matter. From my experience, I found that understanding of branding as propounded by David Aker, who is regarded to be the father of branding, is scientifically perfect, but very theoretical, and people are not able to understand how to use them to develop their personal brand. As a process, it is very academic, very insufficient, and not at all useful. If that were not so, why is it that in spite of there being so many professionals talking about personal branding and brand you, people are unable to create a tangible brand for themselves. Why? What is a bigger joke is, in fact, even those who are promising to help you build a brand have not been able to build a brand for themselves. They themselves remain faceless. Our journey of branding has to begin first with understanding where the mistake lies in being able to appreciate why these so-called personal branding strategies are failing. I would like to show you a slide, and I would like to know from you what you think about it. What do you see in this photo, and what does it say about personal branding? Can any one of you tell me? Yes, please, I'm waiting.
So, if you are broken out from the outside, you are dead. If you are broken from inside, then your life.
Yes, but what does it say about personal branding? True. When an egg is broken from outside, a life is lost. But when a breaks from inside, a life is created. But then what has this got to do with personal branding?
You have to brand yourself to come out with lovely.
The power is within you to bring change.
Okay.
So the inner transformation which need to happen is the preparation for the external world. The chicken, before it becomes the chick, it undergoes a lot of transformation and incubation, and then it turns into the chick. It is getting ready, and then it breaks open the egg. And then
thank you, Mr. Suresh. Thank you. Yes, anybody else?
So you be the first as soon as possible.
This is Rajmanikam. Yeah, personal branding has to be done by you. If it is done by somebody else, it is a disaster.
Others mute, please. There is a lot of background noise coming, please. Most of you are right. All of you have touched the point. Personal branding begins with you as the person who wants to create a brand for himself. The process has to move from the core to the periphery and not the other way around. Always people talk about personal branding. They begin by talking about the target segment, the problem statement, the category, the value proposition, the competitive differentiation, everything outside. But personal branding should begin from within you. You first address those foundational values which make you, then you move out step by step. That is what is holistic personal branding. Holistic personal branding addresses 4 things. Number 1, it involves understanding at the most foundational level what and how you are viewed and the factors that fundamentally influence the people around you in the formation of an opinion about you. Unless you understand that, you will not be able to work on yourself to create the correct foundational advantage. The second that you need to understand is the 3 elements which constitute you. Whether you like it or not, these are the 3 things that you transmit about yourself. Knowing them will help you control and focus those energies in an advantageous manner. The third are the 2 values which you offer, the rational and the emotional value. Knowing and how you can handle it will create a better you in relation to the world. The 4th and the final is the scientific process of brand building, which is also called the branding journey. So how does the branding journey go? It starts with the brand goal. What is the goal of your brand? Where do you want to see yourself? What do you want the world to see you as? When I say the world, it starts with your nearest and dearest one, your wife and children and family members. You are a brand for every one of them. Unless you signal that brand, you will become a commodity. You will just be a husband or a father. Never the father. Second, brand position. How do you create that positioning? How do you understand the target segment? How do you understand what they want? Which category you are addressing? What is the value proposition that you offer? What competitive advantage you have, which is going to be sought by them? Third is the message. How do you do the messaging? Messaging is very important. How you convey the brand advantage is the brand message. What evidence do you give to support the advantages and the competitive benefits you are showing to the world? That is very important, the brand evidence. How do you lay it out? How do you unfold the brand evidence? Your brand relationship. How do you define the relationship with the various influencers of your brand? Various receivers of your brand. There are people who are going to be influencing the brand. There are people who are going to be carrying the message of your brand forward. How do you define those relationships? Do you understand who they are? Do you understand how to take it forward? Then comes the brand education. How do you educate the world about the brand? There are various people in the ecosystem, starting from the nearest one to one far away whom you don't know exists but will be a part of your catchment area. How do you educate the entire ecosystem in which you are operating? And how do you integrate all these to create the brand strategy which will take you forward? That, my dear friends, is the branding journey. You start with understanding the foundational principles, the three elements, the two values. Then you come to the scientific process of chiseling away at all the unnecessary and taking out the butter and then presenting it to the world in a strategic manner. That is the creation of what is called a personal brand. Before I close,